Hey everyone, Extra Mustard here for my second devlog. The life of a developer. I've been wanting to work on my newest project, Glow Rogue, a bit more, but I've come across some game-breaking bugs with the cards mechanic. After a few cycles of gaining levels and spawning the cards, the game softlocks and the cards won't go away. The enemies are also still spawning behind the cards as well. I'm going to be completely revamping the cards, so stay tuned to my channel here and hit that subscribe button to keep following updates about Glow Rogue and my last project, which is still ongoing as well, Telly the TV. One of my buddies from Twitch had recently started speedrunning Telly the TV, and now he's accomplished a time of sub 27 minutes. What's interesting about his time playing the game was his ability to uncover bugs that I would have never discovered otherwise. He's also the reason I added a screen resize mode to Telly the TV, so streamers and speedrunners could screen capture the game with only one monitor. He also uncovered a few bugs when the player exited the level. They were still getting damaged, and lately he discovered that you could become invincible in the game, and if you decided to go back to the title screen via the pause menu, that invincibility mode would remain on forever unless you exited the level or exited and relaunched the game. This was actually a really simple fix. I had to add a condition that stopped the timer for invincibility and change the variable for invincibility back to false when the player goes back to the main menu. This highlights the importance of getting QA testers to play your game. Now that I've fixed Telly the TV, the new version is already live on Steam. Now I can focus my attention on some HTML5 game websites. I just got approved for an account with Yandex Games. The dashboard has a ton of information for me to read, and they want you to include a Yandex SDK in your game's project so it integrates with their platform. You can have integrated ads with their platform, so I went ahead and signed up for that as well. A few forum posts on the GDevelop forum about the extension created by someone in 2020 for Yandex Games. It looks like the extension could be outdated and not well maintained. If that ends up being the case and fails the build test on Yandex, I'll have to try to add their code to my HTML5 index file. I also took a look at Crazy Games, GameMonetize.com, Arcadium, and GameDistribution.com. These platforms all have their own unique SDK, so it's going to take a ton of research to get the SDKs implemented in Telly the TV. But I created accounts with all of these platforms. Since I have one completed game, I figured it might be good to test the waters with Telly the TV before adding my newest game, Glow Rogue. Speaking of Glow Rogue, I spent most of Saturday working on the game. First, I replaced my orbit card with the bomb card. I worked on the pixel art for that. The idea is you get one bomb, and each time you collect the card, you'll make its stats better. I might adjust the size of the explosion instead of creating multiple bombs. It's important to keep the number of sprites on the screen manageable, because my logic behind the random cards seems to be affected by this. So one of the main changes I made was how enemies were spawned. I made the entire playfield a spawn point for the cube and pentagon enemies. They're now controlled by the spawner behavior and manipulating the built-in variables there. The game randomly selects where the enemies will spawn, as well as the random time interval between spawns. The star enemies all work exactly the same as they did before. Then I took a look at all of my card mechanics code. I moved all the assets off the screen and created a new asset that serves as a backdrop for my cards. I added some debug text to the screen so I could see where the variables were messing up. Sometimes the game would miss the variable checks and the final number would sometimes be 9 or 8 instead of 4, which is the maximum value before resetting to 0. The debug code made me take a look at each individual step in the cards process. GDevelop really makes you think about which event should come first, so I played with the order of my events in each code block, moved quite a few things around, and also added some timers to account for steps that were getting skipped too quickly. Now the upgrade cards tween onto the screen from the top, and confetti spawns on the screen, which lets the player know that they've leveled up. I added another card as well, which is the magnet card. This increases the distance you can attract the energy crystals to your ship. I added this attraction mechanic to the basic game as well. Now I feel confident about my cards mechanic as well as the initial enemy spawns. I'm going to play with their values a bit and scale them as the player progresses with each level. I'll have to create lots of new variables to affect the values of the enemies. I'll also take a look at tweaking how much the weapons scale with each card collected. I'm also planning on adding another enemy which fires multiple bullets in a bullet hell style, so the other enemies need to be limited somehow when this new enemy is introduced. I'm making good progress on Glow Rogue, so be sure to follow the game's page on itch.io, where I will be keeping you updated with devlogs that coincide with the ones I'm releasing here on YouTube. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up and make sure to let us know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to show you more.